Hello Bitzbox, this is Craig from Bitzbox.co.uk, and as you can see I'm in my office. This is where I film a lot of the stuff on the desk, painting videos, conversion videos and whatnot. And I thought I'd show you around sort of how I film stuff on the desk, and I'll sort of go over sort of different ways. I've tried lots of different things in the past, and I'm going to go through some of them and you can see what sort of works for you, and I'll show you what my current setup is, and then some ideas that I might have going forward as well. So yeah, quick little video just sort of showing you around, and I'll show you sort of what sort of angles that we get from each different setup. So we're going to go way back. I have sort of two desks in here. There's one in front of me and one behind me. As you can see, I've got my computer monitors, lamps and stuff behind me. That's the one I use now. But I used to use this one opposite. Let's turn the camera around. So this is one I used to use. I've just got like a little spray booth set up now, and got some airbrush paints. I'm going to change all this because I want to have a little photography area here. I'm probably going to actually start working on that after this video. I've got the stuff I need, but I might just have to build something to put all these paints on. But yeah, I used to use this desk, and yeah, so I'll show you one of the first setups that I used to do on this desk, and I'll show you what sort of angle that gives you. Now the lighting's going to be terrible because I ain't got no lamp set up here, but just bear with me. Okay, so the first thing I have over here is a little sort of clamp that you can clamp onto your desk with the camera attached to it there. Now you can see I've sort of had this sort of screwed in this scrap bit of wood so it sticks out, just giving it a bit more just put crap on, as you can see. And yeah, so that gives this sort of angle. That's quite sort of zoomed in. You could have it closer, but there's not a lot of height with this. But you can, as you can see, you know, it's all right. You can sort of show the miniatures off. Your hands might get in the way a little bit. Ideally, you'd want this higher, and I'll show you how you can get like a higher view later on, which is basically what I sort of use now. But yeah, I've done this on old live streams. I've used this method. It's not brilliant, but you know, these clamp things are pretty cheap. You clamp on the desk. This one's actually broken slightly. You can't sort of see it around the other side. It's all sort of broken, so I don't really use it. Oh, it's all broken there as well. So I don't really use it that much or at all these days. If you want a little angle, sort of close up on your desk, you sort of clamp it to your desk, clamp it over here, and yeah, you can use that. But that's something I don't tend to do so much now. So we'll look at another thing that you can do right now. So the next thing you can do, and some people definitely do this, is to have a tripod on your desk and sort of essentially film upside down. And this will give you like a top-down view. Now some people do favour the top-down view, and I am interested to hear the comments from you guys, because I'm considering maybe doing some sort of system for a more top-down view. Do you prefer like a over-the-shoulder view or a top-down view when watching videos on miniatures? I would love to hear your feedback in the comments. But yeah, essentially you would film upside down, but obviously then flip the footage afterwards, so it's not too good for live streaming unless you actually flip it on your software, which I think you can do. So actually, yeah, it should be okay for live streaming actually. But if you've got like a PC or something here, then that could get in the way. I certainly couldn't do this on the desk behind me with a computer in the way, but it works. And then you can, you know, just go about your painting. You have to hold the miniature at a certain angle to show it off on the camera, but that's not sort of too uncomfortable or too difficult to paint. That's maybe a little bit unnatural to how I paint, but as you can see, it sort of shows off well. Again, you'd have to zoom in a bit, and you'd have to be wary of the legs of the tripod. If you don't zoom in enough, then you will see them. I actually used to film the White Dwarf videos this way, and I'd have to have a sort of tripod really sort of high up just so I don't get the legs in, and sometimes I even did, I think. But we don't sort of film them that way anymore. Just a couple more points I want to give on this system is that obviously if you have a camera with a flip screen like this, then you can actually see the footage on the screen in front of you. So there's no need for an external monitor or anything like that, and I'll show you what I use for an external monitor momentarily. So there's that. Also another thing you'll be wary of is if you've got lights, then if you're sort of holding the miniatures up to the camera like that, they could actually be above where your light source is. So you could have your lamps sort of down here, but your miniature up here. So you've got to be wary of that. If you're down here, then it's not so bad. Down here. me looking at the screen on that camera, but not this one. So yeah, and that's a tripod. I don't use that setup for videos sort of at all anymore. So we'll move on to what I do actually use these days. Actually, scrap that. There's just one more thing that I want to show before I show you what I do use, and that is to just have the tripod. Make it back far enough. Just have the tripod next to your desk. So what I use is slightly different to this setup, but this is essentially you have the tripod, but the problem, as you can see already, is that the legs are just in the way. I mean, you can move them about, so you get this sort of view if I adjust it. That's fine, but the tripod legs are still slightly in my way, so I have to sort of work around them. Now, I have had this sort of setup a little bit in the past. Of course, you can make the legs narrower, which will obviously make it higher, and they're not quite in your way, but you just got to be careful that your camera's still supported okay doing this way. But if you've got the room to do this, then by all means it's totally fine. Again, you'd need to use an external monitor, and I'll show you that in a minute when I go into my preferred setup. So yeah, I'll show you now I will show you what I do use at the moment. Okay, so this is what I use at the moment, and that is a tripod with a arm on it. Now this particular tripod is a Taika. This whole thing was very expensive. It was about £100 for the arm and the tripod. That's quite an expensive one, but there are cheaper ones on the market. And I've extended the arm. I've been using a shorter arm on it and it's been fine, but I've extended it recently a little bit. It doesn't look like it's got much support, like it looks like it might fall over. But if you have to keep one of the legs parallel with the arm, that way because otherwise it will just tip forward. But it's more out of the way. I've got my chair there without interfering, and then I've got my screen set up over here, which I'll show you in a minute. But this is the sort of footage that I'm getting from that, and this is what I've been using for like the Critical Role videos lately, and I'll be using it for other conversion videos and painting tutorials, etc, etc. But yeah, as you can see, it gives a pretty much similar sort of angle as before, and I ain't got to worry too much about nudging the tripod. But obviously, again, you do need a sort of a screen really, so you can see what you're doing. Now, it films in widescreen, and my screen's not actually, my little monitor's not widescreen, but as long as I keep sort of in the middle of a shot, then I know I'm doing okay. So this is just a cheap little monitor, and I'll put some Amazon affiliate links for stuff that I've used or stuff that's similar to what I've used in the description down below. I've got this on a little arm, mainly because it didn't come with a stand. Yeah, you could just use a little stand really. Haven't got to go into getting an arm, but I do like these arms, they're quite cool. This is just one for standard monitors, and it's only about £15 or something like that. I'll put a link in the description for that, because it's just awesome for the price. It's so heavy duty for something so cheap. And I know I've only got a little monitor on it, but it could easily hold one of these two, no trouble. And that just clamps onto the desk. So another thing I've been looking into is maybe having the camera on some sort of similar sort of arms thing. You can get like microphone arms and things like that. That would give me more of a top-down view, and I'm still not like entirely convinced, especially with the way I sort of paint, about having a top-down view. If you're someone who, I wouldn't say paint properly, but if you paint ideally where you have like your shoulders on the desk and you paint like to your eye line, which is how you see a lot of sort of better painters than me paint, then a top-down view could be better for you. But I just have a miniature about this high off the desk and bend over doing my back in and paint that way. I'm sure a lot of you guys watching probably can relate. Of course, you do have to sort of be wary of getting your hands in the way when it's coming in from an angle. And of course, if you're left-handed, then you might find it easier to have the tripod on the other side. But yeah, that's the setup I use, and I think I'm going to stick with it for a while now. And but yeah, I would still love to hear your opinion on whether you think this is ideal or whether you like the top-down view first, because at the end of the day, we make these videos for you. so your opinion matters more than mine. So yeah, definitely let me know in the comments down below, and I hope this has sort of been handy for someone. If you're looking into filming videos yourself, hopefully this has given you some ideas how to do that. So before I end this video, I'll just have a quick talk about lights now. I probably don't have the most ideal lighting setup here. I've just got a couple of these LED lamps. They're quite adjustable, so I can move them about like so. They can move wherever, they can go backwards and forwards. This one's a bit further away than what I'd usually have it over here, but I can easily move them forward, bring them in, and yeah, I mean they produce enough light to get a half decent image. There's not really any shadows going on much, just a little tiny bit, but I can still bring the lights closer if I wanted. You can also, if you find the lights a bit too much, you can put some paper over or something to diffuse them. I know a lot of people like to do that, but I don't really bother. I've seen people have LED arches, which are quite cool, but yeah, just a couple of lamps here. Again, I'll put links for them. If I back away a little bit so you can see the whole setup together. I have a cutting mat on the table. I just like to have a cutting mat down, acts as a background as well. I do have a grey one which I really like, but I find it's not very good for conversion videos to have the grey miniatures on the grey cutting mat, so I just stick with the green. You can have whatever you want. You can just have a plain surface down if you find that better. But I like using the cutting mat. It keeps the desk clean as well. And I've got a piece of tile which I just use as a palette. And but you can use whatever. Or if you are using a white thing for a palette, I do recommend keeping that out of shot, because then it just throws the white balance off. So, but you can always show it on a separate little edit or something like that if you so wish. So yeah, I'm not even going to talk about multiple camera setups. I don't do that, but certainly not out of the realms of possibility. But yeah, I think that's all that's left to say on that. I do apologise if the desk's a little bit of a mess. I did actually, believe it or not, tidy up before this video. It was much worse. I'm sure, again, a lot of you guys can relate. But yeah, I think that's all what's left to say about filming stuff on the desk. If you're thinking about filming stuff for your own channel, then hopefully this has been useful to you, and if it has, then please do give it a thumbs up. And yeah, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. We've got lots of content on the way. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, then please feel free to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. You can also click that bell icon to be notified when a new video has gone live on this channel. On the screen now are 2 more videos that you may wish to check out, and a link to our Patreon page also. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.